For sure. This weekend, we have a very good fight and a very interesting fight, which started off with Islam Makhachev, who is the up-and-comer. He's 18-1. He is absolutely dominating, and he hasn't fought this year. Everything with COVID and the pandemic, it's really messed things up for a lot of fighters, including Islam. He was supposed to fight Rafael Dos Anjos, and this was supposed to happen earlier this year, and then RDA got COVID, I believe, so they had to push this fight off. And then Islam Makhachev suffered a staph infection, which now they're not going to fight each other. But we learned today that Paul Felder is going to step in for Islam, and he's going to take over on short notice. This becomes a very interesting fight because Makhachev is the 12th ranked lightweight in the UFC, and now we're moving up to the 7th ranked lightweight in Paul Felder, who's coming off that loss to Dan Hooker. It was a great fight, and a fight I would like to see again. But right now, Paul Felder against Rafael Dos Anjos, this is going to be a great fight. Dos Anjos looking to reclaim the title at lightweight. He's looking to get his name back up there with the greats, just like he used to be, and turn things around. But, at 36 years old, he's not getting any younger. I think that a lot of his prime days are behind him. His career in the UFC has lasted for so long, and I think he's been in so many wars through his career that it's aged him a lot more than his actual age. He may be 36, but he looks like Glover Teixeira at 41. And so
let me ask you this, right? If we have the Felder Dos Anjos fight now set, right?
Right.
If RDA loses this, is his career over in the UFC?
Well, yeah, and that's where I think that if you can't beat a guy like Paul Felder, who has been great in his career, but he's almost felt like a journeyman to me, where he never seems like he's going to get to that title fight. He's kind of just a gatekeeper for the next big fighters in the lightweight division.
He's got flashes of greatness.
Right. If you take that and Paul Felder beats RDA in this fight on short notice, I think RDA is not going to have a shot at moving up and fighting for the title at any point in the rest of his career. Either move to back to welterweight, or you're going to have to call it quits or move on to another promotion, because there's nothing here for you in the lightweight division if you can't beat Paul Felder.
Yeah, I would assume that that's the case, or he just becomes another gatekeeper if UFC even wants to keep him that way. But yeah. I don't know why they would want two of those in the same division with again Paul Felder.
RDA is not even. He's low ranked or unranked in the lightweight division, and he is he's looking to get back into this division after moving to welterweight, where he didn't have success. And I think that this is kind of a last chance opportunity, and I don't know how far Dana's willing to go after this, because of the last few fights he's had. RDA has been up and down, and more down in the last few fights. So
I'd be interested.
Coming off with two losses, it's tough for a guy like him in his age and the wars he's been through. It takes a toll.
I'm interested to see how the UFC markets this, because the Islam Makhachev versus RDA was a little more appealing to me. Now that it's Paul Felder, I'm not sure I don't want to say as interested.
I'm more sold on this. And I think you have to really know who Paul Felder is. He's more than just a commentator. He's more than the guy you just hear every Saturday night.
Right.
He is a legit fighter. He is a beast in the octagon.
To be ranked number 7 in the division, you have to be, of course. I understand that. But for me, and again, I'm not for those of you watching, Nick is the UFC expert here. Like, I am the...
don't call me an expert. I am...
between the two of us, you have the expert level. I am a casual UFC fan. And I think of it more along the lines of, okay, Islam Makhachev had some name value coming into this fight. And then if he were able to capitalize on RDA, he was really going to make a name for himself and propel himself up the rankings. Now... this is a little setback for him, but my question is, what's to gain from this? Is it because
Paul Felder,
I don't think RDA can move up. He can he's holding on to where he is right now, but he can't move up anymore.
no, I actually
only has something to lose
disagree.
here.
I completely disagree. I think that if he beats Paul Felder at number 7, he probably shouldn't be ranked in the top 10, but he should at least get another top 10 opponent in the lightweight division to see if this is legit or if this is just a farce. Because there's so much competition here. He'll have to fight a guy like Dan Hooker, who has beaten Felder, that is in limbo, who's not going to fight anybody soon. I think that would be the next step for him. And Dan Hooker is ranked 5th or 6th right now in the division. So that would be the progression for RDA if he were to win this fight. But you can't really look past Paul Felder at this point. He is going to be a very tough matchup for RDA. I'll be very interested to see how he approaches him and how he handles him on short notice. But this is a lot harder for Felder, and he's putting his ranking on the line. And he said he's doing this because everything that's gone on this year, everything that's gone on with this country, he just wants everybody to have a fight that they can take their mind off of everything else and have something else to focus on and enjoy themselves. That's why he's doing this. It's not about him proving himself in any way, shape, or form. This is a step down, and he knows it, but he's doing it for personal reasons.
I understand that, but anytime you enter the octagon, especially in with more eyes on you now than ever, you still have to have something to prove. If you go in with a mindset like this is just going to be fun in games, you have a very big blind spot for your competition, and that is not the mindset you need to have going in.
No, it's not. It's not, and I think that he'll be fine. Paul Felder is a professional. Obviously, he's been in amazing matchups before. He's been in when I say wars, I mean absolute wars. He's been in there with the best of the best. He knows what he's doing. And I think a guy like Dos Anjos, who has kind of fallen off the last few years, I think this shouldn't be too difficult for Felder, especially if he's been training just like, most MMA fighters do. They're in the gym almost every day, no matter if they're fighting or not. Right. Felder's in condition. He just needs to make weight and he'll be fine. I don't have any issues. I don't think Paul Felder is going to have a tough time. I think RDA is going to have a much tougher time. This is a much more difficult opponent and different styles too. So RDA is going to have to adjust for that.